Welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Exciting times. Our listeners and viewers that tune into this interview, they can see you on Cruel Summer Season 2 premiering. Has the date changed a few times? June 5th now, right?
Yeah, no, it's June 5th. It's always been June 5th. For a while, everybody was waiting and waiting and waiting, but no, yeah, it's going to premiere June 5th. I believe they're doing like a 2 hour special. And then after that, it'll go to its regular slot on Wednesdays, I think.
Amazing. Yeah, I remember the first season, everybody went crazy over this show, and now the season 2, new cast, same type of storyline, more mystery from what I've heard.
More mystery. Yeah, it's funny because I'm actually Canadian, so Freeform doesn't air in Canada. So when I booked the show, I was like, yeah, I do callbacks, I do whatever. This is my job. And then when I like looked up the show, I was like, this is gonna be really fun.
We're gonna jump a little bit more into the new season in a few minutes. Let's get to a little bit more about you. I was doing some research and everything, and I wrote down here like you've done a little bit of everything. Dancing, acting, horseback riding, violin. What's left?
Um, Not much. I mean, I never did karate. Oh, actually, that's not true. I had a friend get me into martial arts for a little. I was terrible, but like I did martial arts a little last year. I don't know. I was really lucky when I was growing up. My parents were like really open and like really believe in the arts. And so I was super fortunate. I actually originally was just going to be a classically trained ballerina. So like most of my energy went into ballet, but like, yeah, I've just recently gone back to horseback riding because I grew up in Alberta, which is kind of like the Texas of Canada.
Yeah.
So I grew up riding and I even did like circus arts as a kid, which is like
Wow.
wild.
So what made you get into the acting world then?
Well, actually, so I was trained as a ballerina, like I said, and then I was in a car accident when I was 18. And as a result, like it just became really clear that I couldn't go back to my career. And so I started kind of trying to find a way to reconnect to that artistic part of myself. And then I had an instructor in an acting class I started taking recommended me for like a little role, and things just sort of snowballed from there. And here we are.
Wow. What's the ultimate goal someday? Now that you've done a little bit of everything.
Pardon me, I'm so sorry. It cut out.
I said now that you've done a little bit of everything, what's the ultimate goal in the industry? What are you hoping for?
I mean, in the industry, I'd really love to do something. I would love to do some big dance numbers. I would love to do a show or a film that like really has some large numbers and I can really use my skills. I would also really love to like, I want to like play a superhero and like use all that physical training I have. Or I actually went back to horseback riding recently because I had an really big audition. And they wanted actors who could ride. And I was like, oh yeah, like duh. And I was like, I really missed that. I should go back to it. So I hope I can use all of them at some point in my career.
Amazing. As an actor, what do you do to make your craft a little better every day?
Oh my God, every day I learn something new every single day about myself. Like, I think I was joking recently that if I'd known that acting required learning every single day, I might not have done it. Like, I'm so grateful because I've gotten to know myself so much more in a way that I don't think a lot of people get to. Like, I really believe that regardless of whether you go into a career in acting or film and TV, I think everyone could benefit from an acting class. You just learn a lot about the world around you.
Now, acting, it's like everybody says, it's storytelling. You guys go out there and you storytell. Like, who is there somebody that you look up to the industry to like try to watch their craft just to make yours a little bit better?
Oh my gosh, there's so many folks. Like I personally like I really love watching like comedic pieces. Like I'm definitely
Yeah.
like I love a good drama, but I'm also a baby and I don't really like scary things. And I'm really into like, 30-minute comedies. And so I think any
Yeah.
of those really like high level comedic actors, especially when they can like, I think comedy is so hard. And when you can do something comedic, you can also really bring it down and make it very grounded and very real because there's always truth in comedy.
Mm.
So any of them, but one of my favorite people in the industry that I just like admire so much is actually Nicole Byer. I'm like obsessed with her. I'm such a big fan. I love her. I listen to all her podcasts. So that's like someone who like always like if I'm having a bad day, usually like I listen to her and it kind of like picks me back up and I'm like, okay, I'll be fine.
Yeah. You mentioned comedy and everything. Are you trying to tell us that someday you hope you're in a sitcom?
I definitely hope I'm gonna say I things are I'll just say things are going well and I've had some opportunities that we still don't know how they're gonna play out. And I certainly hope that I get to do some really cool 30-minute comedies.
Amazing, amazing. So yeah, let's jump to
Yeah.
your latest project now, Cruel Summer Season 2. a whole new cast for this season. Tell us first of all, like, how were you approached for this series?
For this series, it was like really standard. I got an audition and I just like sort of like did it, no big deal. And then I got a call back and I was like, whatever. Like I said, I'm an actor who does callbacks. It's fine. And I just like did it. And it was so lovely. Our director and one of the executive producers, Bill Purple, in the callback, he was like, oh my God, it's perfect. Don't change anything. I don't want to mess with it. And it was just like the nicest feedback you can ever hear in a callback. I was like, okay. And then I kind of just let it go. And a couple days later, I got a call from my agent and she was like, hey, they love you. Will you dye your hair blonde? Which was amazing because I'd been I'd never dyed my hair. And I'd been like, what if I went blonde? And so it was just sort of a perfect happenstance that like everything kind of came together and I got to go blonde. So it was really fun.
Awesome. So how would you describe season 2 for a first time viewer to tune in?
Okay, for a first time viewer, I would say it's very it's got so much juxtaposition. The storytelling in Cruel Summer is really nuanced and really deep. And so it's got mystery, it's got twists, it's got turns, it's got so many actually like fun, playful, beautiful moments because we have the different storylines. Like some of it's really like mysterious and dark, and some of it's so light and so playful. So I think mostly it's a wild ride. That's how I'd set them up for it.
So we see you as Amy. What was the description to begin for this character?
Like when I auditioned for it.
Yeah.
Okay. When I auditioned for Amy, the description I got was just one of Megan's friends, and Megan is Sadie in the show. So I had no information, which was really fun because I had a really playful scene that was just kind of two teenage girls being teenage girls. And so I just really tried to bring my whole self and like my little bit of comedic energy. I'm really lucky because I'm actually a bit of comedic relief in the show. So I kind of got to do much sillier things than a lot of the other actors did. So I had no information, which was fun because then once I booked it and they asked me to go blonde, which I was so delighted to do, I really thought she was going to be like a stereotype. I thought Amy was going to be kind of a mean 90s blonde. Like we all know who that girl is. But because Cruel Summer actually has a lot of depth in its storytelling, like she's not a stereotype at all. And she was so much fun. And she like really loves her friends and really wants to see like the best things happen for them. And is like trying really hard and is like also really like loves to party. So it was fun to do.
So since they didn't really have a big description on Amy, did you find it easier to play this character? Did you have like your own input on this?
Yeah, I guess they really let me run with it. Like it was fun. Like there would be takes and our directors would like start cracking up and they'd be like, we wish this was a comedy. Like we just want to let you like really fly and like really let your skill set go. But for me, like I don't have a problem bringing it down. So like it was fun because it really was, yeah, kind of I was guiding where we were going. They were like happy to go on the ride with me, which is nice. It's nice when people trust you.
Yeah. What did you love about Amy? Or what do you love about her?
I love Amy's clothes. I'm such a clothes girl, and it was so fun. Like my wardrobe fittings were hours long. Like we did like double the amount that like I expected. And it's just they really wanted to find really playful, cool, like Y2K references in what she's wearing. So that was probably my favorite part of coming to work was like seeing what I was wearing that day. And there's like one outfit that I'm so excited for people to see. I think they're gonna freak. But other than that, like she's just really playful. Like it was fun to be in a drama, but find the range. And I really enjoyed that. It was great.
How would you describe like Amy's journey now in this season? Obviously without giving out spoilers.
No, that's like so hard to explain. I'll say like Amy, I think starts carefree and she ends up somewhere like very like anxious and concerned. And I think that that's like a big internal journey for her. But I don't really think I can say anything else.
You mentioned Amy's best friends with Megan. How do you describe that chemistry in this show with Sadie and then Offset also?
Well, Sadie, it was one of those things that was really easy. We're a big ensemble. And so for everybody, once you get in there in the morning, we're either there super early or super late and we'd shoot overnight. And you'd be there like all day because in the shots we're all there. We would get to set and we would not go back to our trailers. So you just like hit a point where everybody, it's like our 12 and you guys have all been there all day and everybody just sort of like settles in, hangs out. It was also really unseasonably cold, so they were trying to keep us warm all the time. So that was very cute. Everybody's like cuddling together and like bonding.
Where was this filmed? I know you said it was filmed in Canada, right?
Yeah, we actually shot it in Vancouver, BC. So it
Okay.
normally, we started shooting in May and it's normally quite warm. Like actually this year, it was like I was like wearing, you know, like summer outfits in May. But last year it was pouring rain and it was so any shot where we look like we're like tanning and having a really some of them like later in the summer, it was genuinely summer.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, if we look like gorgeous in bikinis, like we were probably cold.
So I mentioned you know, there's a whole new cast in there. Is there somebody in the cast that either you kind of hoped you had more scenes with, or maybe in the future you will, that you didn't get a chance to work with?
Not more scenes because we did quite a few, you know, like we're usually all together. But Niall Bullock and I are actually became really good friends, and I would love to work with Niall on another project. He actually just flew into LA today, so we're gonna go for dinner later. And we became just like besties, and so it was really fun to hang out. And I have a project, like I have a dream project, which is like just in my head, like totally made up. But I would love for the two of us to go do that. It would be really fun.
Mm. Is there a specific episode that you can't wait for the viewers to watch when they tune in? And how many episodes are we expecting this season?
I believe we're expecting 10 episodes, although I don't know if I guess it's 2 episodes on the premiere day.
Right, yeah,
I believe it's
there
10.
is.
And then I can't remember the number, but like I said, there's one episode. I think it's 4 or 5. And there's just this one costume that I think folks are gonna like. I think fans are gonna flip. And I'm really excited to see what people say because it's just such a heavy Y2K reference. Like it's very clear what's going on and it's so silly. Like when I got the script, I was like, no way. Oh my, like, so I'm delighted to see what people think about that. So I think 4 or 5.
Yeah. So as an actor, this is one of your biggest projects. What do you hope like the audience remembers from this performance for this series?
You're right. Yeah. I hope that people, I mean, remember me. I loved this job. I love storytelling. I do have, you know, my sights set on, you know, being a series regular, moving into bigger projects.
Yeah.
And I think this is like a nice stepping stone. And definitely having fans and having people remember you is really valuable in our industry. And so I just hope people really kind of see a bit of themselves in Amy and like see a bit of themselves in like what I'm bringing to the table and like come hang out with me and like, you know, follow me on social media and like follow me on the journey through my career because that's all I want as an actor, right?
Right, right. Amazing. Now, is there
To
any other
tell stories
projects?
and have people love them.
Right. Is there any other projects you're allowed to tell us about after like, you know, this is about to start and everything? Is there anything you're working on that you can tell us about?
Well, I just recently was in an episode of Firefly Lane that just came out. They just finished the series there. And then right now we're reading a bunch of scripts. We're accepting a bunch of projects. And like I said, right now I have a bunch of things going on, but I'm signed and dotted and crossed the T's yet. So I can't talk about it. But I'm also writing my own short film. And I was really lucky to work really closely with like I said, with Bill Purple, who's one of the executive producers and primary directors in a lot of the episodes, and just the directors of the show in general. And so I learned a lot about directing while we were shooting, and I got to kind of shadow them and learn a lot about the other side of the camera. So I'm really excited because I'm going to be moving into producing and directing and writing my own work, which is a totally different ball game. And I'm really excited. So people can also expect.
Awesome. So we have Cruel Summer, June 5th. Now, how can the listeners, the viewers find you on social media to follow you, keep up with you, and everything?
Yeah, please come hang out with me. You can follow me on at Tedra Rogers on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And yeah, but I'm so excited. I have so many behind the scenes photos of everybody, and I'm so excited to share them. So come and hang out with me, and you can check them all out.
So Teddy, I want to thank you for giving a few minutes today. This was great, and you know, I can't wait for everybody to check out the new season.
Perfect. Me too. Thank you, Elias.
Thank you. Thank you.